What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time stopping in, don't forget to go down below and hit that subscribe button, and if you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Today we are finally going to be working on the truck. It's been a long time coming, but today's the day. Finally got the time, and I got everything I needed. That's why I didn't work on it last weekend. Well, that's why I ended up making the video, but I was wrong with it instead of working on it because I didn't have all the parts I needed. But now we have everything, which I'll go over here in a minute. But I'm going to wire up the trans cooler, which if you guys don't know, I have a heavy-duty Mishimoto trans cooler with an electric fan on it, which I'll show you here real quick. So as you can see, here's the trans cooler and the lines running to it, and then you got your electric fan, which just has 4 screws on each corner of the fan. Sorry, it's hard to point. It's got the wire on upside the frame here, up above it, which you'll see here later when I wire it up. So that's the plan for today. We're going to wire up the trans cooler fan and throw a switch on it so that way we can keep those trans temps down. And like I said in the last video, I'm going to be upgrading to a more heavier duty race Octane over there racing transmission cooler. So this is kind of like it's just a temporary fix, but when I do upgrade it, it'll be a CNR racing cooler, and I'll do an install video on that as well. But let's go into the garage and see everything that we got for the install. Definitely need to get another light installed over here because all there is this stupid little pathetic light, which I'm gonna end up switching out to. I'm probably gonna end up putting 3 rows of lighting in here, but for now we got our good friend Milwaukee helping us out. So let's start off. Got some wire loom, which is only temporary, so don't even say anything because I got this nice nylon expandable sleeving 3/4 and then also 1-inch stuff, which let me take out my bag here. So as you can see is very nice. It's not the cheap plastic crap. It's obviously nylon expandable. Super nice stuff. I ordered that offline. So I'm not going to do the braided sleeve right now. I'm going to end up using that on the final wiring. So I just got some cheap plastic wire loom to cover up the wires, at least for now, so that way they're not exposed. So here's kind of some of the stuff I was waiting on. I ordered these off of Amazon. I'll put the links down below. It's a 300 count of waterproof and heat shrink butt connectors, as well as this one's 260 piece of heat shrink ring connectors, so I'll be using these today. And then I bought, this is 650 pieces of heat shrink wrap, all different sizes, so as we make a mess here. So I'll have plenty, versus if you were to buy these at like AutoZone or O'Reilly's, like I had to go today and get a couple of inline fuses. Those alone are $7-8 a piece, versus if you go online you can get a 10-pack for $8. But make sure you read the reviews. Some of the stuff I wouldn't order wiring off of Amazon necessarily, but like the butt connectors and the heat shrink, obviously I ordered off of Amazon because it's a way better deal than buying it in store, because you can get like a variety pack even at Harbor Freight for like the same price as what I paid for this whole entire thing. So super good deal. I definitely recommend getting this kind of stuff on Amazon. Definitely best bang for your buck there. All right, so next up we got a 30 amp 5-pin relay, which I just got this from Napa along with the harness. And then I also ordered these off of Amazon because again it's cheaper to get these off there than in stores. There's some cheap little switches, just temporary switches. So today I picked these up instead of getting these off Amazon. These are 30 amp 12-aught inline fuses, and then I also picked up some extra fuses as well. So I got an extra 30 amp and then also some spares for other projects. Of course you gotta always have zip ties, so I got a pack of zip ties. And then this one right here, I spent a good amount of money on this. I got it at Home Depot. Definitely worth if you're gonna be doing a lot of wiring jobs, which I obviously am. Get yourself a nice set of ratcheting crimpers. This will crimp everything correctly, all your connections, and it's much easier than using pliers or anything else. These are nice ratcheting ones, so they're super nice and they're comfortable in your hand. And then of course I got myself a bunch of wire, just 12-aught wire, black, and some red. And of course I got myself a heating gun. And then these little guys right here, I picked these up just because I thought I might not use them. Might find something different, but I thought they were cool because they're rubbered sleeved. So that way if you were to run like a wire loom through them over time, they wouldn't wear through that wire loom because there's not metal rubbing on the plastic. So I thought that was pretty cool that they're rubberized inside. One last thing I picked up today, because I knew I was going to be rolling on the ground and I didn't want to have to lay on my back the whole time, was this guy right here. Harbor Freight Special. And I had to put my little spin on it, and this is how this should come from factory in my biased opinion. But I think that looks pretty sweet. And then I also threw another sticker on the side here. But that way, I don't have to lay on my back all day. I can kind of just roll around while I'm under there wiring everything up and make my life a little easier, and also keep the back of my shirt clean, because there's nothing more annoying than having rocks in your back and the back of your shirt just being filthy, even when you take it off. But enough talking, let's hop into today's video. I'm excited to get working on the truck, so let's get out there and get some wiring, which I hate wiring, but hey, let's do it, we gotta do it. Alright, well you guys have the best seat in the house. I put you up on the ceiling, so I'm gonna get my mess cleaned up here, start getting my wiring harness prepped and wired up, and then we'll get out to the truck and get it all installed and get this fan working. And also I have 2 pairs of wire cutters. This pair I personally like a lot, makes life a lot easier. But it's not good for every application, because if you're working, like I do a lot of electrical work, like inside boxes, sometimes it's really hard to get it in there enough. You don't have enough room. Then I also have this pair, which is multifunctional. I use these up every day as well. Great pair. The only thing that sucks is the cutters kind of suck. They're worn down quite a bit, so probably time to get a new pair, but these 2 will get the job done today. Super nice pair. I think they're like 45 bucks at Home Depot. Definitely worth it. I'm excited to try these out today. Alright, so the first one I'm going to work on will be on my wiring harness. It'll be the red one, which will be pin 30, which will be the straight connect wire up to the battery, which will throw the inline fuse in. So I'm going to get these all these ends cut off and prepped for wire, and then I'm going to get my inline fuse thrown on pin 30, which you'll see here in a minute. I'll go over all that and get this started. So I got myself 2 different options here. I'm going to end up using this one that has a nice little waterproof cover over it, instead of this one that doesn't have a cover on it. If it'll focus, it's not focusing very well, but that is one beautiful crimp. If it would focus, it'd be nice, but oh well. Alright, so there's our first connection. Is it the prettiest? No, but it is waterproof safe. So these are marine grade connectors, and I also threw some heat shrink on them. Wasn't long enough, so I ended up just splicing it in half without splicing the wire at all. So good to go right there. I'll end up putting a longer wire on I'll end up running some positive wire on the other end of this once we get out to the truck, and that'll go to the battery with a ring connector on the end of that, and then the fuse will end up going back in. But let's get started on the next connection. Alright, so the next one I'm going to work on will be pin 85, just because it's the easiest one. Because after that it'll be signal wire and then the wire to the fan. So this will be the last one we can do in here. So it'll be ground, which is pin 85, which for me is the blue wire. So I'm just going to end up grounding it to the back of the relay when I mount it up. So super easy. I'll just end up throwing a ring connector on it, so that way when I mount the relay in it, I can just screw it right behind it. So worth the $45, I'm telling you right now. So much easier than using the dang pliers. Planes flying over, making a whole bunch of noise. You got the neighbors in the background. Saturdays are crazy around here. But that's it for inside here, so let's get out to the truck and get the rest of this wired up. Alright, so next up we got pin 86, which for me is going to be the green wire. So I'm getting mounted up right next to these other 2 relays for right now. This is all temporary, because I'm going to end up doing a wire tug later on. But pin 86 is going to go into the cab, because it'll be the signal wire, so that'll tell the fan when to turn on and when to turn off. So that'll go into the cab, because it'll be on a switch. And then pin 85, which will be across from pin 86, which for me will be the yellow wire, will go to the fan, so that'll be power to the fan. So I'm going to get a butt connector on here and run some wire into the cab for the switch, which I'll do the switch last, and then we'll get working on the pin 85, which will be the wire that goes to the fan. So let's do that now. Good thing my ass bought two things of wire, because I actually bought a solid one instead of a stranded one. So if I had ran that to the cab, that would have sucked, and I would have been a little pissed. So good thing I caught that before. I was undoing it and I was like, why does this feel so hard? It feels like freaking Romex. One thing you want to be sure of when you're pulling wires through is that you're not chafing it up against the any metal. Like right now I'm going through rubber grommet, so obviously I'm not doing that, but whenever you're running wires through anything, you always want to make sure you're not chafing it up against or sitting on any metal, because over time it'll vibrate and it'll take that sleeve off it and it'll arc the wire. Well, that right there is a solid connection, 100% waterproof, good to go. Pin 87's up next, which is going to be the wire to the fan. So this will give power to the fan once I turn the switch on. Alright, that's enough down there, so let's go underneath here and get this fan wired up. Fish tape. You ain't heard of it, you heard of it now. Get some. It'll help you out tremendously if you're trying to pull something through a wall or anything. Or in this case, the frame. Alright, so I had to take a quick little break to run to AutoZone to grab a little bit more wiring. So like I said, I accidentally grabbed the cell. Wasn't really paying attention. Then I also picked up some self-tapping screws with some washers for when I mount the relay up, and then also the ground. Then I also picked up some quick disconnects for the battery, so that, I mean for the transcooler, so that when I wire it in, if I want to quick disconnect it, I can. Because that's what it came with, so I'm just going to use what it came with, and I picked some of those up, so I'll throw some of those on there. Even though these are self-tapping, I'm going to drill a little pilot hole so that way the screw doesn't try to walk on me. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and hook up my main supply, which won't feed power to anything because, as you can see, there's no fuse inside of here. So I'm going to hook the power up to it so that way I can just keep working my way back. And after this, we'll get the wires to the fan hooked up, the positive and negative. Alright, so as you can see, I got the positive and negative going to the battery. I'll throw some wire loom on that once I'm done here. Okay, so currently we are, well, I am cleaning Octane's tail because we were sitting here and Kenzie was like, "What's that in his tail?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And there was a little bit of a, what you say, I smelt it. And you know when you're working on your truck and your hands get dirty and you smell like that smell? And you know you can smell your truck? Yeah, he was hanging out with me under the truck today, in today's video. And he got some stuff on his tail, but with some good old Dawn dish soap, I think we got it all out. But time will tell. I was ready to just cut the hair out and call it good, but she was like, you're getting the Dawn dish soap and you're gonna scrub them. So here I am. So I told her to grab the camera and let's document this because it's kind of funny. Alright, so it's a couple days later. I got everything wired up in the truck like you guys saw. I went through and put some wire loom on everything, cleaned everything up, and ended up replacing one of the battery cables because it was so loose that I couldn't tighten it down at all. That was bugging the hell out of me. So I had two spares laying around. I ended up throwing one of them on, which I'll show you here real quick. I know the sun's really bright, but as you can see, I got it replaced right there. So everything's good. Here's the relay with the wire loom. So I ended up mounting the switch up right here because when I bought the truck, it already had a bunch of holes drilled in it. So I'm sitting to replace this piece and probably gonna end up painting the dash. Something's gonna change with a headliner here soon, so you guys will see that in an upcoming video. If anyone has one of these for sale too, that's the, I don't know if they call that, this console thing. Shoot me a DM because I need to get a new one of those. It doesn't really matter the color because I'm probably gonna paint it anyways. But shoot me a DM on Instagram if you guys have one of those for sale because I need to get one of those. So I ended up putting the switch here, so it has an LED indicator light when you turn it on there, and you can hear it down here. So as you can see, it works. This thing pushes a lot of air, and you can see here's the lines going to it. Nice wire loom. I'm out of the way. I'm going to end up redoing my rock lights. Sorry, it's loud down there, but so switches in, everything's good. It pushes a lot of air. I ended up switching the wires. I ended up putting the positive on the blue and the ground on the black. But with that way, it actually pushes air away from the cooler. So if you switch the wires, it'll push air towards the cooler. So I swapped that out. Everything works good. Maybe in a video or two, when I drive the truck around, I'll do some recording and talk about if I notice any drop in the trans temp, if it actually does its job. If not, like I said, I am going to be upgrading again to a bigger, more heavy-duty trans cooler, so that'll fix that problem if there is a problem. In the next couple of videos, I'm going to be working on getting the wheels fixed, like I had mentioned, because they got curved. So I'm going to end up taking the wheels off and getting those fixed, and then probably getting them painted. The new wheels will be here soon. And I'm also going to be building a set of battery cables because obviously I had to already fix them, so I'm going to end up ordering the stuff up. That might take a week or two, and then we'll build a set. But lots of content coming on the truck, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. I know it was a longer one than normal, but I wanted to make it all in one video so that way you guys don't have to wait till next week to see the end of it. But everything works good. The install went great. Like I said, if you guys want me to make a video about doing a drive test with it and see if it actually drops trans temps, let me know in the comments down below and I'll make one about that. But that's a wrap on today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go down below, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Drop any comments. If you have any questions, I'll get back to you. Follow us on Instagram, and we'll see you in next week's video.